All right, a photography student wants to buy a digital camera that costs $269.95. She plans to make a down payment of $100 and pay the remainder in 5 equal monthly payments. Write an equation to represent the situation. I told you, where do you start if you have no idea where to start? The equals. What does this equal?
No. The total cost.
260.
The total cost. Very good. Yes. Okay. So that is where I always start because that makes sense. There's the equals of my price. Okay. So now think about in life what you would be doing. So you have 5 equal payments. What do you not know? What is the unknown here? What is our variable? She plans to make a down payment of $100 and pay the remainder in 5 equal monthly payments. What do I not know? I technically don't know the remainder, but okay. How much? What? How much they'll pay monthly? I don't know how much I'm going to pay for those months. Does that make sense? Do I know how many months I'm going to make that payment?
No. Yes.
5 times. So 5 times a number I don't know because I don't know how much I'm going to pay every month. So that would be, say, maybe 5M. Okay, what else do I know? $100. So I have to get the total. So I'm going to add that or subtract it here. Because I want this side to equal 269. So I'm going to take all 5 payments plus my 100. That should equal the total price of the camera. And there's your equation. Okay? All right, we're going to pause there to make it easier. Okay, so it says an orange grower ships oranges in a box. Okay? So imagine there's a box filled with oranges. Okay, so here's our box. It is filled with little oranges. That's beautiful. Okay? All right. So it says that the box weighs 10 kilograms. So just the box itself has a weight. Okay? Obviously, as I start to put oranges in them, each orange is going to weigh something. And they're saying each orange weighs approximately 0.2 kilograms. The total weight of a box filled with oranges is 50 kilograms. Write an equation you could use to find the number of oranges in each box. What did I tell you to always start with?
Equal.
What is the equal?
Oh.
50, because that's the whole thing, right? The box with all the oranges in it. So we're going to say equals 50. Okay, so think about how would we get the weight? How would we get the total weight? We would weigh the box and all of the oranges. Does this make sense? Okay, who knows any part of that I could fill out on the other side? Any part?
You know the weight?
I do know some weights, yes. How could I put that over here on this side? Daniel.
You do 10 times.
Okay, what does the 10 stand for? What is it?
Each.
Each?
Each box.
That would be some heavy oranges, yeah.
Each box.
That's just the box, right? That's just the box. So am I going to be multiplying that by anything? No. So that would be like plus 10 because I have to add the weight of just the box. Okay? Now you have the oranges that are inside. Do you know how many oranges are inside? No. So that becomes your variable, right? Because that's what we don't know. But we know that each orange is 0.2. So see if this makes sense. If I put 0.2, I'm going to use X because we don't want to use O for oranges. That would look like 0. So does this make sense? I take the 0.02 times how many oranges, and I add the weight of the box, and that would give me the total. Does that make sense? I think that's a harder one because it's not money. Money is always the easier one to start with. Okay, we have one more to look at. Okay, probably a lot of you aren't familiar with 4-H because we are city folk. So unless you have family that lives in the country, we don't really do a lot of with 4-H here. But basically 4-H is like Future Farmers of America. So they might raise cattle or pigs or sheep, and then they go and they're a club and they like take their sheep to the fair and they get ribbons, things like that. Okay, So this says you have a 125 pound calf, which is not the muscle on your leg. That would be a baby cow. Okay. You are raising for a 4-H project. You expect the calf to gain 65 pounds per month. Write an equation to find how many months it will take for the calf to weigh 1,000 pounds. What did I tell you to start with?
Equal.
What does it equal?
65.
Be 125 times 60.
What is the total you want the calf
Oh,
to weigh?
1,000.
1,000 pounds. Good. Okay. So equals 1,000. All right. Now, how are you going to get that 1,000? What is the math over here to get you to the 1,000? Layla.
It would be 60. Well, 125 plus 65 is
Perfect. She got it. Because what you don't know is how many months that's going to take you. But you know you want it to gain 65 pounds per month plus the 125 it already weighs, and you want that to total 1,000. Okay? Now, what's nice about your homework tonight is that the majority of it's multiple choice, so it's going to give you the different equations, so you're just going to have to pick which equation goes with it that makes sense. You won't have to probably start from scratch very often. Okay? All right.
I love